Enugu residents have waited, watched and asked questions about the launch of the CNG buses that have been cooling off at Okpara Square since they arrived months ago. Now, in less than 24 hours, the Enugu state government will roll out 100 of the acquired 200 CNG-powered buses and commission 5 modern bus terminals located at Holy Ghost, Nsukka, Abakpa and Gariki. The state's transport system is obviously on the verge of an overhaul. At Okpara Square, residents are commending the developments as CNG buses are reportedly being deployed to the terminals ahead of the commissioning tomorrow. Oluwatomi Olatayo brings us more. Take a look.
This is what being in a CNG bus looks like. We are at the Okpara Square to witness the deployment of different CNG buses to their different terminals for the commissioning, which will happen tomorrow. We are at the Okpara Square to talk to Enugu residents about their feelings and their reactions towards this.
For the first time in Nigeria, happening in Enugu State, our workaholic governor has made it happen. It is a thing of joy. It is a thing of immense happiness that we are witnessing this thing happening in Enugu today. These ones are going to Nsukka terminal. They will be there for the commissioning tomorrow. These ones here, some will be going to Gariki after failing at night, my Greenville station. The CNG gases, they are all CNG gases, not fuel. So this is the first time I can tell you, first in history, and it will help pedestrians in Enugu to save their money for excess billing and everything from other non-CNG buses.
I have the opportunity to be one of the driver. So like now, every terminal, they will deposit 5 buses. Like now we are about to go to Nsukka. They will deposit 5 buses. After the Nsukka, we deposit 5 buses at the Holy Ghost and the Gariki and the Abakpa. So by tomorrow, governor will move to all the terminals. After commissioning it here, the governor will go to all the terminals to commission all of them to make sure that everything is in order. We have 5 terminals.
Can you mention them?
Holy Ghost is number 1. Gariki is number 2. Nsukka is number 3. Abakpa is number 4, and the last one is 9 Mile.
Governor want to commission the new CNG buses on Thursday. That's why we are here, and everywhere is fine. We are good to go.
The governor is doing well, and it will help the states in making sure that the farewell of people will ever move. You understand? It's a very good innovation. We are happy. That's why we're here to make sure everything is going smoothly and normal by the way they are sharing the buses so that it will get to down to the grassroots. So we are very happy.
Thank you very much.
Our governor is very innovative. This action is very spectacular and unique. We thank him for that. May God be with him all the time.
I'm very happy, so happy. I'm happy for the governor of Enugu State, who have brought the transformative agenda that we have never seen before in Enugu State.
The payment method is like this. It's just like an ATM card. You recharge it in the terminal. You want to enter the bus, you just place it on this machine here. Depends on the location or the place the bus is going. The card, this bus, assuming the bus is going to Oak Park from Abakpa, that means the payment will be programmed in this machine. Once you place your card, the machine will collect the money. Go to the terminal.
Okay.
You buy the card, they recharge it for you.
So will you be buying the card every time you want to enter the
No, you recharge it. It's the card, once you recharge, just like an ATM card. Once the money inside the card finishes, you go and recharge it back again.
Now, that being said, at the Holy Ghost terminal, the mood remains cautious. Nearby business owners still reeling from earlier demolitions expressed reservations about the project, though many spoke off camera. Others who spoke on camera commended the development. Let's take a look.
We are at the Holy Ghost Terminal 2, and as you can see, the escalators are bright and shining. Preparations are ongoing for the big event that will be happening tomorrow. Come with me as we talk to different people to hear their views and their reactions.
This terminal, alongside the other terminals that were built by the state government, of course under the leadership of Dr. Peter Ndubuisimba, will be commissioned tomorrow. So you can see we're just here looking at the finishing touches being done, just trying to ensure that everything is well put together. So the plan is to have this in place and other terminals built by the governor commissioned tomorrow.
This is the first of its kind in this part of the city.
So we are happy, we are grateful for what the governor has done. Very effective now, unlike what we had before. Our people will enjoy it, certainly. Tomorrow, we are opening this place officially. So our people are waiting, our governor will be coming. We are good.
I feel happy because the structure has been abandoned. Let me use the word abandoned for so many months. So trying to inaugurate it is a nice one so that at least the everything can start working the way it's supposed to.
Actually, it's a good development because if you see what is happening in the country nowadays, if this one will be the medium of reducing the cost of transportation, at least we welcome the development and it's a good thing.
I can understand that the governor is doing the actual thing that he's supposed to do as a governor. He's doing a great thing in the Enugu state. What we can understand as a transporter I run around this area, so you can benefit also from what is going on in this environment. So I like it very much. I adore it. I think he's doing the best what he can do to make the masses benefit good.
Now, what does this all tell about the future of transportation in Enugu? And what does this future mean for the past? This is Enugu. I am Nathalie Uko. The program returns in moments. Stay tuned. Good evening and welcome to Enugu on Afia TV, and thank you for your patience. Thank you for staying tuned. Joining me today is Afia TV Head of News and Current Affairs, Mr. Alex Obodo, as we look at developments so far in the transport sector in the state. Mr. Alex, you heard the reaction. You saw what the people said. Off camera, some people were saying that they were not happy, seeing as they were displaced. They did not want to leave the site of the terminals, but they refused to speak to Afia TV on camera. What's your take, your feeling after watching those reactions?
Well, you see, there will always be two sides to a story. Enugu needs to change, no matter how difficult it has become. I don't reckon that we should remain the way we were in 2023. If by now we don't see anything like what we're going to launch tomorrow, what the government will launch tomorrow, I'm not sure it's good testament for the government. What should concern the people is that if the government is idle, only telling them stories, at least the government is interested in changing the transport infrastructure. I mean, I have to tell you the truth. All the big cities of the world, one of the things that will mark that city out is to have a modern transport infrastructure. You should enter a proper bus. You don't enter a bus, you come out smelling like a skunk. You should enter a bus and you know it's a modern bus. Not all this. I don't want to go graphic on this, but Enugu needs to shine like other big cities. You can't. If you travel out of Enugu, maybe to Lagos or Abuja, and you listen to conversations people have anytime Enugu comes up, you know that Enugu needs these things. The terminals are necessary. I mean, the misgivings people have about whether people were compensated or not is beside the point. It's beside the point because the real owners are supposed to have been compensated. But the people who are occupying them, maybe who rented it, were at the receiving end of the demolition. Totally different story. But change is necessary. Change is necessary. We need to change the way we move.
That's right. Now, some of the existing transporters, Entraco, the tricyclists, some of them are not happy. They do not want to start to what they feel, they don't want to be relegated to the inner roads. Okay. They want to continue to crisscross. They want to continue to ply the road. They don't want to have to seemingly compete with this big brother. And this is a gigantic brother coming, the buses. So, they're not, some of them have a lot of reservations. They're not happy with it. Some of these transporters, I mean, what do you have to say to that?
Genuine concerns. I mean, jobs are being created, jobs will be lost too. And if disruptive innovation will warrant that, some people who are in the transport sector but at the very low levels, tricycles, those who are doing cab businesses around town, and those who are driving all those shuttle buses the ones that carry about 6 or 7 passengers, they are mostly going to be affected by this. And if you look at the whole scenario, some of them might eventually get a job as drivers of the CNG buses. It might not go round. So people will want to be the bosses of their own lives. But that may not be possible. There are people who will be affected. I'll tell you something. In the late 80s, I think, or mid 80s really, my father's shop was demolished. I don't want to say where this was located. Government will come once in a while to bring about, in fact, they say they don't want anybody to have something in front of any compound. So they started demolishing everything anyone built on the streets. So governments will come, and they come with policies to develop the city. They can make all sorts of claims to tell you it's to stick to the master plan. They will all hear all sorts of things. But you want to see that policy being implemented. It would have been really heartbreaking if, after all that demolition, nothing was built there. So I think at the end of the day, that will be the sacrifice to make for Enugu to move on. All the big cities of the world were once, rising from the lower levels. Before New York became New York, before Washington became DC.
Passengers are watching this wondering.
Yeah,
they're saying it's not just tricyclists that are concerned. Passengers too are worried that, so they have to wait till they get to the next bus shelter before they can board the bus. Unlike before, where you could just, halt down, you could just stop a tricycle and it will take you to your destination. I mean, some of them are not just tricycles at this point.
I bought tricycles, I use boats, I use all those, but come to think of it, the city needs to grow. The city must grow. Enugu cannot remain the way we used to see it in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Something needs to change. If you want the city to be a mega city, you have to bring about mega infrastructure. The way you move people around must improve. You can't leave it to anybody or everybody. Government should have a kind of control on how people move in the city. Very, very important, because if you don't have any sort of control, it can actually affect the security architecture of the state. Some people don't know that. Anyone who controls how people move around can disrupt the security of the town. But a lot of people just see, okay, I want to move around, they just hop into a keke and move. It's going to affect everybody, but believe me, we'll be all right.
Right. Now, there appears to be a frenzy. Let's look at the infrastructure on ground. There appears to be a frenzy to complete this infrastructure, to complete the terminals before the commissioning tomorrow. Not all of them, but I'm quite sure our correspondent reports that Terminal 1 at Holy Ghost, you're seeing a lot of activity there. The contractor is trying to rush to finish because the governor has given a timeline, and that timeline has to be adhered to. So you can see them trying to pick up the slack, trying to finish up everything before tomorrow. I mean, the deadline, the issue of deadlines in this administration, some people have even blamed the deadlines for some of the incidents that were recorded of late at the smart school, saying that contractors are sweating to finish up. I mean, what do you think about the timeline? Some might consider it a rush to commission these projects.
Is it a rush? Because we're already gone past the timeline he gave for the commissioning. There's no rush again. I mean, if you said the terminal will be commissioned in 12 months. It's way past 12 months. But understandably, there were some structural concerns that they had to correct. I don't think there's anything wrong with postponing a commissioning. It's just something happening in our society I don't understand.
What is that?
If someone says, okay, this will be completed in 22 months, and it didn't happen, there could be a number of reasons why it didn't happen. Do you think that a government will announce 22 months and deliberately fail on that? I don't think. I mean, if you're a government, you will want to brag that you stated that it will be completed in 22 months, but you completed it in 18 months. Only a few times you see that. The contractors might encounter challenges. Maybe a contract, hypothetically, might have been slated to cost 2 billion naira. And the exchange rates will have some changes on it, and they will come back for you to augment the money, because it can't just continue with that amount. Because some of the materials used in the terminals were not made in Nigeria. So if that is the case, if you say, okay, maybe the escalator that they placed there was supposed to come in 1 month, But after it was ordered, it took 3 months or more to arrive here. That one is actually beyond your control. At the end of the day, people should take a look at the quality of what's been delivered. That's number one. Number two is that, do we need what's been built? Yes, we do. And the Enugu of 2025 needs modern terminals, needs modern buses to convey people.
Does it address the real needs of the people?
What do you mean by real needs?
The real needs of the people.
What are the real
in terms
needs?
of getting from point A to point B at the time they're supposed to get to
What is point A to point B? That you will have bus stops in town named, and you have a CNG bus that can take, let me be modest with this, maybe 25 or 30 persons at once or more. I think that thing can take like 40 persons, I don't know, and they will sit comfortably. Is it too bad for our people, for our mothers, for our fathers and uncles to sit in a luxury bus in town service? Is it too much to ask for? Like my mom would say, Chinka yokwa ivu akawa. You know, are we cut out to always struggle from the ground? Can't we for once love something nice when it comes?
Yeah, people have justified how lovely it looks, how nice it looks, but how close is it to their home? Some people don't want to jump from the tricycle, then get on the main road, then get in the bus. They are not used to that. They're not acculturated to that.
I get it. You want the buses to get to your homes. Even the current buses don't get to your homes. So why do you want the CNG buses to get to your homes?
Let's paint a proper picture. Now, the tricycle can actually come to your home, pick you, and take you all the way to work.
The tricycle can meet you at the nearest junction to your house. That's what they call pit. Those who do tricycle riding, if they are watching me, they have pits where they stay. That's what they call it. They gather there. The people, all the area neighborhoods in Enugu have their own pits. You get to the pit, and the keke picks you from there. I mean, there's no way to put this. I use public transport to move around. I know what the people feel. I pay bills on transport. In fact, people can't even mention how much they spend on transportation.
How would you rate your experience commuting from point A to point B up until this moment? Whenever you've had to use the public transport system for any reason, how would you rate that commute?
What I have to say, I don't always use bus because of where I'm commuting from. But if I'm going to move from here to Gariki, if you take keke, it will be more expensive. If you take a boat, it will be far more expensive. But the CNG bus will take you there at a lower price. So what is it that our people really want?
So price then is a major selling factor of it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if hypothetically, if people were paying 300 to get to Gariki, and you have a bus that can charge you 100 naira, isn't that a good deal? This is hypothetical. I don't know how much they're going to charge.
All right, I have a big question for you. I'm going to ask you this question when we come back. How ready do you think this project is for commissioning? Once we return from this short break, we'll be getting the response to that question from Mr. Alex. Enugu'S returns in just seconds. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The program is Enugu'S on Afia TV. I'm still here with Afia TV Head of News and Current Affairs, Mr. Alex Obodo. Now, the question about readiness. How ready would you say this entire transport management system is for commissioning?
Let's put it to the test tomorrow. I'm not the contractor. The only way to find out is tomorrow. You know, when the ICC was commissioned by the president, I read a lot of rather unnecessary comments online. People who write these things don't know that they are demarcating the city, they are demarcating the state. I am from Enugu State, and the governor does not have to be from my political party. And by the way, I'm not a member of any political party. Nobody will come and say, I belong to their political party. Because the only way they can prove that is to show me where I registered in the ward. So I don't have to be friends with the governor. I don't have to be in his political party. But Enugu is mine. This is where my children will be. If there's something that will help Enugu to move on, I'm for it. So an international conference center that was abandoned for 16 years was refurbished, or not refurbished, was completed and commissioned. And what was the problem for some people was that an event hadn't held there at that time. They said, I thought they said they said they had completed it. I don't want to mention names. I know the names of people who wrote that. I would have mentioned the name, but it would be unnecessary. I thought they said they had completed it. And someone wrote under the comment, maybe you should go and hold your wedding there and find out whether they are renting it out. So a few short weeks after those comments, now there is no day that the ICC wouldn't have at least 2 events happening there. Somebody can go there. I don't know who they pay to when they want to rent it. I haven't been there for maybe in 3 weeks, but each time you pass there, people are doing something at the ICC. So let's put the terminals to the test tomorrow. Sometimes you wouldn't know you need something until it comes.
In terms of what you've seen on screen, you have the buses across the state, you see the bus shelters, you see the terminals at the various areas. I heard there's even another one coming up at 9th Mile, though we don't have footage of that, but I heard there's one along that axis. Now, how ready, beyond the theoretical answer, how ready would you say this system is to operate? Now, let's take a step back to where we're coming from. We're coming from a system where we had bus stops and not bus shelters. Now, the bus stops turned to convenient accommodation for people who didn't have anywhere else to go, for those who just needed somewhere to stay warm from the cold. And there was never really any activity beyond maybe some of the buses stopping maybe 2 feet away. It didn't really serve its purpose. And people complained about the fact that the bus stops lacked a plan. There was no system in place. There was no landing. The buses were just crisscrossing around, and there was no actual plan. That's where we came from. Now, judging by the infrastructure we have on ground and how they look, how they feel, the Abakpa terminal, the Holy Ghost terminal, everything that you've seen, how prepared would you say this project is, and how sustainable, especially beyond this administration?
Well, this sounds like a question that Obioza should answer. He is the Commissioner for Transport. He supervised the implementation of the project. But if you ask me, do we need this? Yes, we need it. We need it. If you want to be among the big cities of Nigeria or the big cities of Africa, you need modern transport system. If you want people to visit your city, you need modern transport system. I mean, go to Holy Ghost. What do you see there on a regular day without something like that bus terminal in place? What you see there is anarchy. People are selling right at the middle of the road. People are picking and dropping passengers right at the middle of the road. We have to grow beyond this. When I was growing up, it wasn't this chaotic. How come in 2024, 2025, our people will refuse to obey simple rules?
Do you think
they love things to be clumsy?
Okay, let's look at the buses. Do you think that these buses, we're going to see 100 of them being rolled out tomorrow? Are you convinced that these buses would be enough to accommodate the thousands of people in Enugu State?
What I'm actually thinking is that maybe the buses that they have now should be enough for takeoff. Because you have to also test the system. After they launch it tomorrow, they have to try to move around. As they're moving around, they are going to tweak a few things. That's what I believe. Because even for someone opening a shop, you wouldn't know exactly how the whole thing will work, where you keep the pastries, where you keep the different things, toys for children. Maybe each time people come in, they are looking forward to find things they need. And then you start moving things around based on how people come in and look to find it. They will continue to tweak it. Like our people will say, anevu, anevu. We will not carry the ground on our heads. We are the ones that will make this city beautiful. It comes with challenges. I've been a victim of government demolitions. Nobody's going to tell me a story. My family suffered because of it. Mm-hmm. So nobody will tell me about what people go through when their shops were demolished. So this whole talk about demolished people's whatever.
Let's talk about Gariki, Mr. Alex. Mm-hmm. Now, the crowd at Gariki.
That's another anarchy. That place needs to be cleaned up. I'm not even waiting for you to finish the question. That's a place that needs to be cleaned up. And what the next time I'm expecting is that the governor should be courageous to deal with the lawlessness on the roads at Holy Ghost and at Gariki.
But the business owners around Gariki access, they are not many of them. I tried to flash a mic at one of the traders there. He was into the business. He was doing a phone repairing. He was a phone repairer. And he said, no, I don't want to talk to anybody. This bus is going to be handed over to other people to handle. This bus terminal will be handed over to elite people to handle it. I get the sense that they would have preferred if they were the ones.
No, everything should be as clumsy. That everything should be as clumsy and as close to the ground as they were. That's what some people want. And I refuse. My personal opinion is that there are people who want everything to remain on the ground. They want the governor to do nothing. They want him to stay in the government house and execute nothing. So that at the end of 8 years, they will find a story and a song to sing. A bad song too, because they will still sing a bad song. They will say that for 8 years he did nothing. The governor should be courageous. Anything you know that is good for the state, do it. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it here. So whatever it is that will make Enugu shine bright among the community of cities of the world, I'm all for it.
We're seeing other states.
So because what people are doing, nothing excites them. They are criticizing everything. I'm not criticizing everything. I want this city to shine.
We're seeing other states in the southeast start to follow this trail. Imo State has already talked about the transit, the program. Abia,
they've copied the bus stop. They've copied.
But there are concerns also that did not. Some people on social media, especially X, that did not see the landing, did not see the little area where the bus would actually stop.
Who said so?
I saw some comments online.
Is it for Enugu or for Abia?
For Abia.
Well, I'm not in Abia. I've not seen their
So
own.
it's evident that...
I don't know the size of bus they are bringing. Because Enugu designed their bus stop because of the bus that is coming. So, I mean, what I'm seeing is that our people must learn this. And I can understand why some of these things are happening. And let me just give you a little analogy.
Right.
Someone comes from the village and ends up in Old Park or Gariki, learning how to repair phones. His worldview is limited. If you've traveled out, you will understand that the city needs to clean up. Enugu needs to clean up.
Let's talk about subjective factors.
I know what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying is let's look at subjective values. Time has been a major problem across Nigeria. Do you see these buses? Because the time factor is very important. If you stand and the bus is supposed to arrive at 11 a.m.
Okay. I think there's something. This may be a clarification we'll get from Ministry of Transport. So, because they have launched this, no other person will have anything on the road. It's not possible. It's simply not possible. But whatever it is you're going to have on the road must be worth it. This is a city, not a village. Let's get it clear, Natalie. You can't just want things to remain the way they are because you want it to remain at your level. You don't have to benefit directly, but there are people who will benefit. Your brothers and sisters might benefit from this. People don't quite read this the way it should be read. You know the number of jobs that will be created indirectly because of this. But that's not the focus for some people. For some people, the first focus is that there will always be poor people, Natalie. A lot of people crawled from the ground to the places they are. A lot of the Republican government, if they tell you their stories, you will know that we should give this city a chance to develop.
Are there challenges you foresee with this transition?
There will be challenges. There will be challenges because this is not something our people are used to. Our people are used to the anyhowness of what we see at Old Park. I'm referencing this because I grew up in this town and I know what I used to see at Old Park. If you're not careful, you will lose your watch, you will lose your wallet, you will lose your phone. Till tomorrow, if you're not careful around Old Park, you will be pickpocketed. Amagaka. So what are we saying? So anything that will clean that up, I'm up for it. I'm all for it. Our people should, set aside this shenanigans. I understand that maybe there are political sides to some of this, but at the end of the day, people who stay in Abuja, 9 months of the year should not be dictating for us what Enugu should be like.
Some of the
people who stay in Enugu 365 days of the year should be determining that.
Some of the tricyclists are afraid of being confined to the inner roads or being in the rural communities.
But exactly that's going to happen. It has happened before.
But their area of comfort is to be on the main road.
We used to have Okada in this town.
Right.
That's a backstory, and we should understand it. We used to have Okada. Why was Okada outlawed? If you go to orthopedic, if you have 100 cases of fractures, leg, hand, even head injuries, you say it's Okada. So the governor had no choice. You can go and research this. The governor had no choice but to outlaw Okada. But of course, you know, there are people in government who may have given their relatives money to buy these motorcycles. But they had to bend over backwards and ban Okada in the city. So because if you go to the other sides of Enugu, you still see people riding Okada, but not in that magnitude. If you go to Aban, if you go to the surrounding towns, you see Okada running. Okada still runs, but not in Enugu city. If you want to be a big city, you must do what big cities do. There are things you must set aside. There are attitudes you must shed. Open defecation, urinating in the open. You have to. I just sometimes I listen to our people when they argue. I just have a sense that they want everything to remain on the ground, full of anarchy, submerged, uncontrolled, lawless. Go to Old Park on a busy day. It's an eyesore. You can't. This is a breath of fresh air. We should be happy about this.
Now,
the only concern is, I hope it will be implemented properly. Simple.
You talked about a breath of fresh air. Now, you can have a shallow breath or you can have a deep breath. Many Enugu residents would like a deep breath. And by deep breath, I mean a system that is sustainable, one that stands the test of time, that even after this administration, people are still able to enjoy the CNG buses, that they don't just vanish or get eaten up by a snake or a monkey sometime. How sustainable do you think this is?
I promise you, nobody will have an opportunity of taking people on a ride. Not in this day of X, Facebook, and Instagram. Let them try it.
Is that a dare to anyone that wants to?
Let them try not to implement it properly and see.
But the problem is beyond this administration.
That's what it is.
How do we answer the sustainability question?
But so this is it, okay? So if you are the governor, you have done your 8 years, and if the next governor fails to hold the ball, if he drops it, then the shame will be on him. Whoever succeeds Peter Mba and drops it, mind you, Enugu had a flourishing waste disposal system before Ifeanyi took over. We had road sweepers. So a few short years, we couldn't find any of these things. So it's about the person. It's the chief executive that will insist on the standards he wants.
That's right.
So, if you don't insist on those standards you don't insist on will become your standard.
I actually did Google the meaning of rollout before this program. Now, rollouts, because when you say rollout and it's just 100, the question about if it will be enough, if the buses will be enough for everybody. Rolling out means like a phasal approach. Yes, rollout, we see it every day, we understand it means something to be launched, but essentially, it means that you are systematically rolling out an item, systematically bringing forth an item.
Yes,
so there will still be more, like
you will need
what you said.
Okay, this is what I'm envisaging. There's going to be a lot of pictures of people in those buses posted online from tomorrow. So, because a lot of people don't quite know what it is that's coming. I have to be frank with you. You think that people consume information the way you think. That's a comprehension problem. So people don't know what is meant by the bus terminal until they actually have need to get in there. So I believe there's a comprehension problem here. And I also believe that's information flow problem. So these are things government need to sort out. This assumption that all those messages on WhatsApp group go around Enugu is not correct. Someone or some people will have to continue to talk, continue to disseminate messages of what government is doing to the people not writing on Facebook and writing. The social media audience is different from the audience that don't consume messages on social media. So that's audience segmentation. So when you say Ndi Enugu, you are talking to the young man in Okpanko who does not have access to the internet. You are talking to that guy in Abu. You are talking to that guy in Ozala. You are talking to that young man in Ogurute. You are talking to people at different ends of Enugu. So you can't use one post on Instagram or Facebook or X, and once you post that message, you believe that everybody in Enugu have seen it. No, they haven't. You will need to employ the dialects of Enugu people to talk to them.
What do you think this infrastructure development means for the broader picture of climate change in the southeast, in the states, across Nigeria? I mean, this is like a drop in the ocean. You know, it's like deciding you're not going to throw or use so many nylons at home, or you're going to go to the shop with your shopping bag. These are things that we do to be a part of that climate change discussion. We want to make sure we mitigate the impact so that we don't have to suffer that. Now, we have the CNG buses that obviously are environmentally friendly. How much would you say this contributes to the bigger picture?
Yeah, I mean, it will, if you look at how cities have evolved over time, a lot of cities want to go green. They want to reduce the carbon footprint. So how do you do that? Those things that give you heavy carbon footprint, you try to drop them. Diesel engines, thick carbon. Normal, petrol now, premium motor spirit, PMS, heavy. But CNG is slightly lower on the carbon. So if you have that, imagine that before now, you have, this is hypothetical, you have 1,000 vehicles moving around, maybe 300 of them powered by AGO, diesel, and 700 of them powered by PMS, petrol. That will give you heavy carbon. And look at the forest covers we have. What's it called? Milking Hill. Some of the forests around the city. People are fast building, doing all sorts of housing estates, bringing the trees down. All these things affect the quality of life. So if you have CNG, let's assume now that they have CNG, and it contributes majorly as the instrument for, or the vehicle to move people around, I think that will reduce the carbon footprint here.
That's right.
But this is just the beginning. It will not just clean it out. There are many other habits that we need to drop. Our people need to drop a lot of habits.
Do you see this innovation as elitist?
Modern bus terminal in a city, elitist? How many students graduate from the university on a yearly basis, Natalie? Is it because we have a society that don't look at statistics? Do you know how many people graduate from the university? So if someone graduates from the university, what kind of life should the person be leading? So what kind of transport system do you think suits the person? Our quality of life should be improving. It shouldn't be retarded. I mean, what is elitist about a CNG bus that will cost less? I mean, come on. What is elitist about it? What is elitist about having a bus terminal? I mean, have you looked at our international airports, Natalie? There is an airport in the US called the Hartfield-Jackson Airport in Atlanta. That place is like a world of its own. Look at our airports. They look like warehouses. We ought to be ashamed. There are lots of things to be done in the country. Our country can be more beautiful. The more beautiful your city is, the happier you become.
Do you have any concerns, Mr. Alex, about job displacements? Because
yes,
job
I do.
displacements and possible competition, especially for the private sector.
Yes, I do. But this is going to bring an interesting diversification. All right? So all those keke guys that will charge you an arm and a leg to take you to destinations will have everything. Because it's going to regularize the transport costs. We are going to have realistic transport
Provide
charges
more clarity
now.
on how.
Yeah, I mean, if, for instance, the keke that will normally take you for 4,000 naira to a particular destination, knowing that if you wait for another 5 minutes at the bus stop, you will go for that same destination for 1,000 naira. That keke will have everything. See, what's the essence of competition? What's the essence of competition? Remember, I'm not sure people quite have a grasp of this. If they stop keke and those buses from running, government will potentially lose revenue. I don't have the figure now, but the money that accrues from all the tricycles and small buses that operate in Enugu are humongous. Yes, there's a daily fee they pay. Imagine that government wipes that away. It will affect the IGR of the state. But I'm sure that they have this at the back of their minds. There is no way the CNG will give them that money.
Now, talking about CNG, if not properly managed, do you have any concerns about possible risks that could crop up if, for instance, whoever is in charge of managing it does not do the needful, especially still in line with the conversation about sustainability?
Does not do the needful like what?
Does not manage, does not monitor, does not watch what's being done in the bus, how the bus is being driven.
Well, these are concerns we will have now. But let's allow the child to be born. So we'll find out whether you have blue eyes or yellow eyes.
All right, so while we wrap up this conversation, tomorrow is launch day, another launch day, right? What are your key expectations as these buses begin to be rolled out, as we see this new transport management system coming into play? What are your expectations? Because tomorrow may be, or rather is, going to be a new dawn in Enugu as far as transport is concerned. What are your key expectations?
My expectation is that our people should be elated to see innovative things happening in our city. Because at the end of the day, you will need it. Population is exploding. We can't continue to move around with six passenger buses. It's not possible. Modern cities don't thrive on that. 6 passenger buses. It's not possible. Our people ought to be happy for this.
In terms of nightlife, what do you think this would do for the states?
I mean, now come to think of it, if they operate into the night, imagine what that means.
If I remember what Dr. Obiozo, Commissioner for Transport, said on this program, that these buses are going to operate around the clock.
So now, you know what that means. So if you finish an event maybe at ICC or anywhere in Enugu, Okpara Square, anywhere, or wherever you are holding the event, or Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, there's been a football match, Rangers finished playing at night, 9 p.m. And because part of the reason why Rangers can't play at night is because people can move around at night. So now imagine you have CNG buses. After the game, the buses will line up. You already know there will be codes for the one going to Gariki, the one going to Abakpa, the one going to anywhere.
Right.
You just enter the buses. So this is, and we should be happy for this.
All right.
I am happy for this.
I mean,
for me and my family, I'm happy for this.
Right.
I mean, everybody will speak for himself.
Afia TV did reach out to the Ministry of Transport officials, the Ministry of Transport, but obviously due to the preparations underway, plans for tomorrow and how fast everything is, stress on how fast everything is, they're unable to make the program, this broadcast today. But yes, we did have that conversation. We did reach out, but unfortunately, no one was able to come through to the program today. But of course, better to be on ground than here, even though I'd like to overhaul some people from the Transport Ministry. But yes, of course, Mr. Alex has always did justice to this topic. So I have one last question for you before I let you go. And just, I don't think we can leave without my asking you this question. Based on everything you've seen on ground, the latest developments, electricity in Nsukka, what you've seen happening with the 5,000 shop international market, a lot of people have been throwing their weight behind the state governor, according to reports. Based on what you've seen, what would you say are the chances of the Enugu state governor come 2027? Because that appears to be the conversation today across Nigeria, 2027.
He's the man
what
to beat.
What are the chances?
He's the man to beat. Anybody that wants to be governor in Enugu state will have to beat Pitamba. That's how it is. I mean, I'm not a politician, but you have to beat the incumbent governor. If you want to be governor in Enugu state, you will have to defeat him. That's the much I can say.
All right. Thank you so much for joining the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you once again. All right, so tomorrow, Afia TV is going to be live streaming the commissioning of the Enugu State Transport Management System that will see the rollout of 100 compressed natural gas powered buses alongside the commissioning of the modern bus terminals from 12 noon. Of course, we'll have the news and then segue straight into the live transmission. So you have to be on this channel. Mr. Alex would be here alongside Oji Wachuku, and I would find myself on the field running after passengers and running after drivers, the usual business, and bring you insights, all of the happenings we brought your way right here on Afia TV, just for you, prepared for your viewing pleasure. I've been your host as always, Natalie Uku. On behalf of the entire production team of Enugu today, this is saying have a lovely evening and see you same time, same channel, this time next Wednesday. Bye for now.